Être un bon traiteur, c'est être intransigeant sur la qualité. On ne fait du bon qu'avec le meilleur. C'est être impitoyable sur les recettes. Quand c'est bon, il n'y a rien à ajouter, rien à enlever. C'est être irréprochable sur le goût. Il faut prendre du plaisir pour en donner. Voilà, pour être un bon traiteur, il faut être intraitable.
Parfaitement intraitable.
The second race of the weekend for the Ultimate GT Sprint Cup about to get underway. The second of 4 25-minute encounters for this mix of GT3, GT4, GT2, Super Trofeo and Porsche Cup machinery and Ferrari Challenge machinery. Mustn't forget them, of course. And it was Alexis Bertet in the number 37 CMR Lamborghini Super Trofeo Evo 2 that was victorious overall in race 1 earlier today, ahead of Patrick Charlet, the Canadian racer aboard the Maserati MC20 GT2 car from TFT Racing, with Olivier Morahan completing the grid. 1 minute board is being displayed, and so we're already getting ready to get this race underway. So to give you a quick summary of what we are about to see, we have 5 different category of cars. UCS 1 for GT3 machinery, UCS 2 for Lamborghini Super Trofeos, UCS 3 is where you'll find your GT4 cars. Porsche Cup speaks for itself, and then UCS 4 is a bit more of a sort of apply on entry. It's where you find your midgets and whatnot. And I think there might actually be in a moment to the entry list as well, because Andrei Safiritos was credited as the UCS 4 race winner earlier today, but on the entry list is still listed as UCS 3. His not even previous generations, the 981 version of the Porsche Cayman, that's the reigning UCS Light champion, is racing, that won him the championship last year, and because it was that generation of car, it did sort of qualify him for that category. But as you can see, formation lap underway, and so it is the car that finished in second place overall earlier today that starts on pole position for this race, the fastest lap in Q2 that sets the grid for this one. And so it is Jordan Boisson getting his first racing action aboard the MC20 for this weekend, starting on pole position. The Porsche Carrera Cup France racer, who will lead Olivier Morahan in the Canon Racing Team Corvette C7 GT3 car, ahead of race 1 winner Alexis Bertet. And then the third of the UCS2 cars, which is the number 88 Gerard van der Horst, in the eponymously run Super Trofeo, class champion twice in Lamborghini Super Trofeo Europe is Gerard. Then we have our UCTC pole sitter Lyle Schofield, UCS3 champion of last year aboard the SR&R Ferrari 488 Challenge Evo, and then Stéphane Perrin on Porsche Cup pole position. That was the car that Billy Rickton was driving earlier for Seb Lejeune Racing. Eric Mouet in, what is actually the last of the UCS2 cars, the other CMR prepared Super Trofeo. Then a string of GT4 machinery. The class winner earlier today, David Coleman, for Racing Spirit of Le Mans in the Aston Martin Vantage Evo ahead of Sandro Perisuti. The Switch Racing prepared Porsche Cayman GT4 Club Sports. Sandro Perisuti being coached by Tim Bure, and Switch Racing making their circuit racing debut this weekend, having moved over from drift racing. Philippe Dallamy in the 444 speed car Audi R8 sits behind them, and then UCS4 Andre Sefiritos, the class winner earlier. Then Pierre Aru in the Herrera Racing Audi GT4 car. Mardine Benjamin in the number 69 Ferrari F430 Challenge, and that is listed as the UCS1 car from Francorchamps Motor Classic Racing. Then comes Thomas Petit in the speed car prepared midget, and Gregoire Benedict will start the second of the F430s from last on the grid. Problems in qualifying, seemingly. Apologies, Martin Benjamin in the F430 Challenge, not the GT3 car. The GT3 car is the one lining up at the back of the field. Speaking of the field, the pace car has peeled in, and we will get race 2 of Ultimate GT Sprint Cup underway in Le Castellet. They wait for the lights to go out. The green flags are waved, and it looked like a particularly vigorous start for the Porsche Cup driver, Stéphane Perrin, the sole Porsche in the field. But it does look like the Maserati is leading from TFT Racing. It's got the whole shot into the first corner. And so pole sitter Jordan Boisson leading the field out of the first chicane for the first time of asking. And then Olivier Morahan has got his kennel prepared Corvette seemingly up into second place by the looks of it. Indeed he has, with Alexis Bertet holding third position ahead of Gerard van der Hurst. The GT4 battle we can see there, the Aston Martin of David Coleman still leads Sandro Perisuti, who's racing in the Alpine Elf Cup series last year, was the young silver class driver. That's Alexis Bertet, who has got past Olivier Morahan now for second position, and it is Stéphane Perrin and Lyle Schofield who are next in line to chase the Kennel CEO. Of course, Kennel, much bigger presence in Ultimate Cup competition this year as the title sponsor of the GT Endurance Cup. Lyle Schofield flashing the lights there on his SR&R Ferrari Challenge, and Stéphane Perrin taking a much tighter line than Schofield, who's now in his second year of GT competition, having moved over from the Italian Formula Predator series the year before last. Reigning champion in UCS3, as we mentioned, which was the home of Ferrari Challenge machinery last year. Slight reshuffling of the classes for this year. But it's 5 seconds the lead for Jordan Boisson at the end of the first lap aboard the Maserati. Current Cup France driver, as I mentioned, and also racing for TFT Racing in the Creventic 24-hour series Middle Eastern trophy at the start of this year in the Porsche Cup category. So it's like a switch of machinery. So Olivier Morahan being chased very hard by Stéphane Perrin there, the Seb Ligier racing driver, and Stéphane Perrin, no stranger to the team. I believe he was part of their lineup during all the Middle Eastern competitions during the traditional winter. So it is Lyle Schofield in hot pursuit of Stéphane Perrin in turn. And again, flashing the lights going into Le Bousset. And again, two very different lines, in fact, four very different lines used by four completely different class of car. We've got the Lamborghini Supertrofeo, the old GT3 Corvette, the Porsche Cup car, and the Ferrari Challenge. The 3 one-make series represented there in just a few meters of racetrack, alongside an icon from General Motors. Multi-class battle here taking place for second position. Of course, Stéphane Perrin and Lyle Schofield usurped Gerard van der Hurst, and just Gerard van der Hurst. He's line astern with Eric Mouet in a class battle in UCS2, but separated by a few seconds. And then Sandro Perisuti and David Kuhlmann are separated by not much at all for the lead in UCS3 as well. So in fact, it's Sandro Perisuti who's taken the lead in UCS3. So Switch Racing, in only their second ever circuit race, now lead their class. This is bad news for the 88 drive-in midget Super T of Thomas Petit, who has pulled that car into pit lane. So looks like problems there for the drive-in team, which is a shame for them. Of course, leaves Andres Spiritos as the sole UCS4 runner. Pierre Roux had some dramas at the start of the race. He's currently 15th and last. So Gregoire Benedet tries to elevate the Francorchamps Motors Racing Classic Ferrari 430 up the order. And there is Pierre Roux, the reigning UCS4 champion. So that battle for second position still being disputed by Alexis Berthet, Olivier Morahan, Stéphane Perrin and Lyle Schofield. It's only a couple of seconds that separates them. But they're just making their way round the final corner now. So there is race leader Jordan Boisson just on the fastest lap of the race at 2:07.9. Behind him by about 11 seconds or so is that multi-class battle for second place. You see Thomas Petit out of the car and explaining what the issue was to the driving team. Organising a lot of motorsport events throughout the season. Whatever the issue is on that Super T midget, it looks somewhat terminal, but hopefully Thomas Petit can get back out for race 3 tomorrow morning. As Jordan Boisson continues to do purple sector times to the front of the field. The 3-litre V6 in that Maserati, relatively new soundtrack to Ultimate Cup competition. Certainly didn't have any of these MC20s in competition last year. And already pulling out a 15-second lead over that battle for second place is Jordan Boisson, which is still separated by very little at all. Still the Lamborghini leads the Chevy, leads the Porsche, leads the Ferrari. Interestingly, it was Lyle Schofield who set the fastest first sector just there. And this is Olivier Morahan still keeping Stefan Perrin at bay, but not exactly losing sight of the CMR prepared Lamborghini in front of him. Of course, CMR, a team well known for its Super Trofeo program, but also in the French GT Championship. Lyle Schofield as well for the SR&R team, run by Manfredi Rivetto and Paolo Roberti in Verona. The reigning teams champions as well, and now sorry, it looked like we were going to come up to start lapping some traffic, but we aren't. I mistook the Super Trofeo somehow for the Herrero GT4 car. But, this fight for second is very good indeed. Wonderful mix of different engines in here as well, because you've got the V10 in the Lamborghini, the thumping V8 in the Chevrolet, the flat six in the Porsche, and then the sort of slightly more elegant V8 in the Ferrari. Four cars with four completely different performance characteristics and four very different drivers. And it's amazing that they can occupy this same amount of tarmac at the moment. You can see where the Super Trofeo pours clear. It certainly seems much quicker on the straights. Now it looks like the closest battle for positions, they do start lapping the traffic now. Starting to be between the Porsche and the Ferrari. And although, again, two cars with very different performance characteristics can churn out quite similar lap times. And in fact, they are now side by side, and Lyle Schofield using the additional power in the Ferrari Challenge car to get up the inside into the penultimate corner. And by the time they get to Virage Dupont, he is ahead very clearly and into 4th position. And so that is the reigning UCS3 champion. Upper spot into 4th. 21 years old now is Lyle, turned 21 in December. From Ireland, but lives here in France. Born just south of the border in Monaco. International man of mystery at racing cars on the weekend. Going up against the Frenchman, Stéphane Perrin, and again we're seeing fastest first sectors there from Lyle Schofield, and I'm sure he's spurred on by the fact that he's got just a little bit more clean air in front of him than he did a lap ago. The leaders in UCS3 still not separated by very much at all. In fact, they're lapping very similar lap times at the moment as well, to the 10th of a second of 2:15.8 for both Sandro Perasuti in the Switch Racing Porsche Cayman, and for David Kuhlmann in the Racing Spirit of Le Mans run Aston Martin Vantage. This is race leader, again, TFT Racing. Based in Nogaro, France. Gets the name from its founders, Tony Pereira, Flavio Produlier and Thierry Fornerod. TFT there for the first names. Running in Porsche Carrera Cup France, and of course the GT2 European Series with the Maserati, but known mostly for their success in the NASCAR Whelen Euros Series, with 3 titles in 4 years for the French outfit. Now 17 seconds ahead of the chasing pack, and according to that timing screen, Sandro Perasuti and David Kuhlmann have swapped places. Yes, it's just been updated on my timing screen as well. So David Kuhlmann has retaken the lead in UCS3. That's the GT4 cars for Racing Spirit of Le Mans. Sandro Perasuti, being coached by Tim Bure, their European Endurance Prototype Cup driver. And in fact, Switch Racing will be racing the Novas with Bruce Chouani at the wheel of the car, of course, Top Gear France presenter. Raced with Racing Spirit of Le Mans a couple of years ago in French GT4 before joining the GT4 European Series in an Alpine A110. Raced in the Alpine Elf Cup Series last year. 25-year-old Frenchman fighting for Switch Racing's first ever circuit racing win. Still Olivier Morahan and Alexis Bertet separated by not very much at all for second position. And you see the Belgian colours on Bertet's car. I believe the usual occupants of that car. Racing in the GT Endurance. Yes, it's Rodrigue Guillon and Stéphane Lemeret who will be utilising that car. So Alexis Bertet can't really afford to do any damage to it because they need it for Sunday. Well, and for tomorrow for qualifying as well. That car's certainly getting the miles in. Stefan Perrin has been given a warning flag and told to respect the escape road at turn 5. And so that is when you go off at the hotel chicane going into turn 3, there is a prescribed route you must take through a marked part of the escape road. And crucially, you have to rejoin left of the bollard. We hear that a lot. This looks like a few more dramas for Francorchamps Motor Racing Classic, I'm afraid. Mardine Benjamin in the F430 Challenge looks to have had some sort of problem. He's in pit lane. I believe that's this car's second problem of the weekend, because it seemed to come to the pits earlier in race 1. The engine's running, but it's not being cleared out. It's reversing it into the garage. Yeah, so that looks like the end of the day for the 69. Shankers, it's always nice to see the old cars out. Alexis Bertet, they're looking a little bit more comfortable in second position now. Lyle Schofield can't really get within a second and a half of the GT3 car in front of him. Jordan Boisson, meanwhile, now 9.7 seconds to the good. Second car's been given a warning flag for not respecting the escape road at turn 5, and that is car 2, Olivier Morahan, in third position overall. Just checking back in on the timing screens with that battle for the UCS3 lead. David Kuhlmann has started to pull away, 2.7 seconds from Sandro Peresuti. Philippe Thalamy quite comfortably third in that category for speed car in the Audi R8. So it looks like David Kuhlmann's going to make it back-to-back victories in the Aston Martin. It's just come up with a correction for Olivier Morahan's warning flag, which was actually for track limits at turn 5. So it's gone over the white line at the exit of the corner. And it is the white line that determines the track limits here, nothing else. 3 minutes left on the clock. Jordan Boisson heads into turn 1. Now that was a 2:12 last time around. Lost 3 seconds or so to Alexis Bertet. I didn't see anything glaringly obvious wrong with that lap, but we'll keep an eye on it. Continue to lose time in the first sector. I do hope that nothing on that Maserati has given up the ghost after what has been a very strong performance from Jordan Boisson, because he's starting to hemorrhage time. He's 2 seconds slower in the first sector on that lap, and so suddenly it could become back-to-back victories for Alexis Bertet. She's had some issue arisen on the MC20. GT2 homologated car, which, despite being sounding like a higher class than GT3, in fact it's not. It's just a sort of slightly different formula that's a bit more amateur friendly, created by the SRO. Middle sector times are a little bit more similar, so Boisson seems to have picked up the pace again. Both the top two did 39.5 last time around. There's Morahan in third position. Still clinging on to the back of the Lamborghini Super Trofeo. 1 minute left on the clock, so this is the last lap of the race. And yeah, Jordan Boisson was a little bit quicker in the third sector. Still lost time overall on the lap, so the gap 5.8 seconds as they start this final lap. But I don't think there should be too many concerns about Boisson losing the lead. Great sounding V6 as well out the back of that Maserati. A little bit of traffic in front of him as well. The 96 430 GT3 car. The car that finished in second position overall in race 1 earlier today at the hands of the Canadian Patrick Charlet, whom Jordan Boisson was racing with in the Middle Eastern Trophy for TFT Racing in the Porsche Cup category. Now looks like it's going to win, and that was a bit tight for Alexis Bertet, trying to usurp the 430, number 96 there of Gregoire Benedet. So Jordan Boisson, having led from pole position, exits Virage du Pont now and drives the TFT Racing Maserati MC20 GT2 up towards the checkered flag for victory in race 2 of the Ultimate GT Sprint Cup in Le Castellet. Second position will go to Alexis Bertet, with third position and the victory in UCS1 going to Olivier Morahan. Lyle Schofield and the victory in UCTC with Stéphane Perrin at fifth position overall in the Sable Racing Porsche Cup car. The final spot on the UCS2 podium set to go to Gerard van der Hurst in the Van der Hurst Racing Lamborghini number 98, with Eric Mouet some 18 seconds back from that car. And then we wait to see David Coleman should come across the line. Started the final lap 5.7 seconds ahead of Sandro Perisuti, and so Switch Racing have got to wait till tomorrow to fight for their maiden circuit racing win once again, by the looks of it. So Gerard van der Hurst across the line now to complete the UCS2 podium in sixth position overall. Then it will be Eric Mouet. Across the line in UCS4 is Andres Furitos. Also Gregoire Benedet in the 430. David Coleman has just come across the line to win in UCS3 for Racing Spirit of Le Mans. That's back-to-back victories for the 74, the Swiss driver. Returning to Ultimate Cup competition after competing in the Monoplace Series in 2020. And so if Sandro Perisuti has to settle for second in class, and it'll be Philippe Dallamy in the speed car run Audi R8 that not only completes the UCS3 podium, but also the top 10 overall, as the cars make their way back to pit lane. Here are those last couple of cars coming over the timing line now. Philippe Thalamy and Pierre Aru. Those are the last cars to reach the checkered flag. So that is the weekend half done for Ultimate GT Sprint Cup in terms of the racing. They get back underway 11:15 tomorrow morning for race 3, and then final race of the weekend at 1:40 p.m. And of course, also remember here on the first meeting of the season for the Ultimate Cup Series, we have for GTs the Kennel GT Endurance Cup, the 4-hour race on Sunday, single-seaters in the form of Ligier Formula Cup, the new European Sprint Prototype Cup, and the highlight of the weekend, the European Endurance Prototype Cup, with 23 Novas to do battle. As Jordan Brasson has pulled into Parc Fermé in front of the #1 spot, and can celebrate the victory. Thumbs up from the TFT team, a little heart as well. It's a good job all round from the team. Second position in race 1 earlier on, and victory in race 2. And it will be Alexandre Herbin who conducts the post-race interviews.
D'enlever son casque, sa cagoule, et qui va nous répondre. Jordan, c'est votre première victoire au volant de cette Maserati. Qu'est-ce que ça représente?
Ça représente le début de la saison. On espère que ça va se réitérer demain et en GT2 surtout.
Comment elle est cette Maserati à rouler ici au Paul Ricard en plus de nuit?
Non, c'est top, on prend beaucoup de plaisir. C'est une caisse super à conduire, saine. Avec les assistants, c'est cool, c'est safe, donc ouais, c'est super.
Puis on a le team manager à côté de nous, donc on va lui poser une petite question quand même. Tony, c'est une super journée pour TFT aujourd'hui. La victoire avec Jordan là et le podium tout à l'heure avec Patrick.
Exactement, c'est un beau début de saison, très prometteur pour la suite, donc ouais, c'est vraiment chouette. Un bel apprentissage ce week-end.
Merci Tony.
We gon'